Friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate, coming at you with another list video. I'm going to do the top 5 summer bourbons and top 5 summer ryes. I'm going to do it in the same video. Part of it is because we're coming up. It is the weekend of July 4th here in the U.S. Hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys will celebrate and remember the freedom that we have. Be thankful for the freedom that we have. And even though there's a lot of stuff going on where people are being divided, we can still hold tight to the fact that we are a free country, and we can love each other through that. And whiskey is one of the ways that we can unite, and we can put our differences aside and just enjoy something together. So we're going to start with the 5 summer bourbons. These are all going to be lower proof. When I started to set out to do this list, I gave myself a goal of going 110 proof or lower. I ended up going pretty low. I'm going to be hanging. 2 of my bourbons are bottled and bond, 2 are 101 proof, and 1 is 86 proof. So I'm going low, and part of that is because I realized that this summer that I'm going to do a lot more cocktails, or I'm going to do a lot more whiskey and pop. We call it pop in my area. You might call it soda. I'm going to do a lot more of that this year, kind of going for a colder drink with whiskey in it. And so I'm going to start number 1 on my list for summer bourbons is going to be Early Times Bottled and Bond. This is just a solid go-to bourbon. Bottled and Bond, I have here the Brown-Forman Bottled and Bond, even though while it has been sold to Sazerac, they sold the naming rights. There was also stock that went over to Sazerac. So currently, even though it's switched tops, the bottle looks a little different, it's still that old mash bill, even if you have a Sazerac bottle. And price point's going to be really good on this. Now, a lot of people that can get it for $20. I have never seen Early Times in a 750. I'm only aware that they make it in a liter, which is what this is. I also have a backup of this, and it's $25.99 in my area. So a little more than what some people pay, but I tend to be a little on the high side in my region and state. So that's going to be number 1 on my list. You got Early Times Bottled and Bond. Second, you're going to go with Wild Turkey 101. I'm almost done with this bottle. I'll probably kill it this weekend, actually. Just another good classic bourbon coming in at 101 proof. These are good because a whiskey person's going to appreciate them, but they're also not so high in proof that they're going to destroy your palate or anything. So that's going to be number 2. This one also claims to be a little high rye. I think it's 13%. So we can agree to disagree if that's high proof or high rye or not. But I'm going to now, what I'm sipping on while I'm doing this video is going to be my Infinity Blend, which I have there's like 35 whiskeys in that blend. So yeah, it's 34 whiskeys have 2 ounces in there. And then I have a list somewhere. I'll do it sometime, but I'm not going to bore you guys with that. All right, number 3 is a newer release, and that's going to be Jack Daniel's Bonded. Because what's more classic for summer than a Jack and Coke? And so let's just give Jack and Coke a little bit of a beef up. So coming in with the Bonded, going to be a little higher proof. And so I have a lot of people that these 3 here, actually all of them really, these are going to be good crowd pleasers. People that are whiskey people may never have heard of Early Times, but they'll be open-minded to it. 101 they know, Jack Daniels they know. So these are great summer pours to have. And then we're going to go with number 4 on my list, which is also my golf pour. This is Old Forester 86. What's so far, every single bottle except for my last bottle, these are all liter bottles. And they're all, now Jack Daniels is 50 in my area for the liter, but we're talking, these are all under $30. These 3 make an appearance in my video that you will see on Tuesday. So just a foreshadowing there. This another offering from Brown-Forman. I'm looking at the DSP real quick, if it gives it on here. I should have done this earlier, and I didn't. That's all right. Not a big deal. Yep. So these, just a classic. I can drink these neat, but I told you at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be doing a lot more cocktails. I'm going to be doing a lot more whiskey and cokes or whiskey. I like ginger ale with my as my whiskey. I realized that I like that a little bit more. Kind of get a little tired of the Coke flavor, and ginger ale is a little bit cleaner in my opinion. I'm not talking about health wise, obviously. So we got 2 Brown-Formans on this list, but then So number 5, we're gonna switch it up and we're gonna go with a wheater. We're gonna go with Maker's Mark 101. All right. So Maker's Mark. Who doesn't love a Maker's and Coke? When I was on my way to Whiskey Weekend, I flew down there. I flew at my flight out of Buffalo was 5:15, and then my layover was in Midway in Chicago. And due to the fact that we gained we lost an hour. It was at my time it was off a little bit. I had a 3-hour layover, and so I had a double Makers and Coke in the airport at 6:30 in the morning Eastern time. Made my day go right. Who doesn't love a Makers and Coke? And so with the 101 proof, we're just stepping it up a little bit. I kind of stayed around this range because I'm not going to shy away a non-whiskey drinker, but a whiskey drinker is going to be happy. I'm not hitting the basement with 80 proofs. We're hitting the lowest as this 86 here. So I think this is a good list. This is a good, solid summer bourbon list. Now I'm going to put these away, as we also are going to do 5 Ryes, and I'm going to do it in the same video. Just for the sake of, I was gonna do 3 bourbons, a rye, and a scotch. But I'll be honest with you, there's only one. I'm not gonna drink scotch too much during the summer. I'm just not, especially peated scotch. If you do, that's great. And I'm a peat head just like you. For some reason, as we're into summer now, I'm just not interested in scotch as much right now. So for rye, one is we gotta go to Rittenhouse Bottled and Bond. This comes from Heaven Hill, and under $20. I think I can get it for $18.99. Fantastic rye. I've said over and over again that this is. I love rye, and because I love rye specifically in cocktails, and so this is just a really good one to put in there because it's not going to break the bank. Under $20, and you've got a good, nice Bottled and Bond rye. And then we got Wild Turkey 101 rye. Now here's the deal. I challenge you this summer to make Wild Turkey 202. Half bourbon, half rye, Wild Turkey 202. Credit for that, me knowing about this, goes to Chicharolino of Whiskey Encore. I have one request. If you are to do the Wild Turkey 202 this year, I want you to make sure that before you do so, you are subscribed to Whiskey Encore. If you drink, I am going to say it now. If you drink Wild Turkey 202 and you are not subbed to Whiskey Encore, you will not enjoy it. And he will actually come and put your head in a kick drum, and you will have problems. All right, so that's number 2. These are good for mixing. Rittenhouse is really going to be a mixer. I'm not going to drink this neat. With the bourbons, I could do them all neat. I could do a shot or so. But with Rittenhouse, I'm really not going to drink that neat. Wild Turkey 101, I might. But the next one here, this is going to be kind of a higher end one. And what I mean by is price point. So with everything from my bourbon list, with exception of the bonded, everything was $30 or under. Maker's Mark 101 might be $35. But so we're jumping up. This I think is $55, $60 in my area. Sagamore Spirit Double Oak. I really like this whiskey. I think this would do well in a cocktail. It is a little bit more expensive, so I don't know if I'm going to drink it in a cocktail or if I'll just put it on some ice, which is also another option you can do. You can go straight, or you can go neat, you can go cocktail, you can go on the rocks. I think this is one I would drink on the rocks. However, if I'm with some buddies and they want to try it, they want to throw it in a cocktail, be my guest. Let's have fun this summer. Let's not be snobs. All right, number 4 is another one, kind of the same thing, except it is a little cheaper. I think this is $35 or $40 in my area. High West Double Oak. I thoroughly enjoyed this whiskey. It's probably the same mash bill as these because these are both MGP, but this is double. This says it's a blend of straight, so it's double rye. So I don't know if it's not necessarily extra aged. You can definitely tell that by the color difference. But they're the same mash bill, but it's interesting of different sides of the country. So the distillate comes out of MGP, and then it goes to Baltimore, and the other goes to Park City, Utah. So it's just interesting the different products that they come out from the same distillate. And last but not least, we're going to kick it back to another mixer. We're going to go with Whistle Pig Piggyback, a 6-year, and this is a pot distilled, 100% rye, 6-year-old rye whiskey. So as far as proof points go, the lowest one is probably, well, I'm not going to say probably, I'm going to actually find out. So we're at 46, 92, we got 96.6. This is 96. So it's going to be the double. This is going to be the lowest proof point, but we're all sticking kind of in the same range that we did with the bourbons. Just a slight more variation with the rye proof points, but not enough to be that big of a deal. So those are my summer whiskeys. Those are my summer ryes and my summer bourbons. Tell me what you like on this list. If you would have some of the same, what you would swap out, what would be the purpose of your, like, are you going to do kind of, how we do the yearly, it turns out now, the only 5 whiskeys, bourbons, ryes you need. If you're going to go with those 5 categories, or if you're just going to mix it up like, hey, do what you want with these 5 whiskeys. These I'm just going to go to a lot. All right. I hope that as we go into the July 4th weekend, you are able to have the day off, have some time during the weekend off, that you're with friends, that you're with family, that you are enjoying yourself. Remember that we are a free country. Celebrate that regardless of where you stand politically with a lot of stuff going on. Let's set that aside, and we are going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to enjoy our time. We're going to be thankful for the fact that we have the freedoms to even disagree about things like this. We're going to drink some whiskey. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I'll see you next time. Cheers.